Hi, this is James Headley. Welcome back to the Living in Naples channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. In today's episode, I want to talk a bit about the pluses and minuses of the very common practice, or at least common intention, of many first-time buyers in the Southwest Florida area. The idea of the rent for a season before buying approach. In general, the thinking goes something like this for this category of client. You want to spend a month or a season renting to get a sense of what it's like to really live in Southwest Florida before I take the leap and buy something there. For some, this can be a great strategy, but for others, not so much. So I want to provide you with some food for thought to help you decide which side of the fence you are most likely to fall on. And hopefully that will help to guide your decision making there. And of course, I'm happy to have a discussion with you about your particular circumstances at your convenience. So please do reach out anytime. Also, thank you very much for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And with that, let's dive right into 5 key questions to consider before going with the rent before buying approach. Number 1, is this your strategy because you think the market timing might be better in a year, or is it truly about test driving Southwest Florida as a primary or secondary home market? If you fall into the test drive camp, this can be a great way to ensure that the fit is as good as you think it will be before you put down hundreds or thousands of dollars for that new home. Talking in the millions in the case of many single-family homes in the Naples area, so it's a significant investment. So the test drive might be right. If your motivation is more financial, just keep in mind the risks of trying to time markets. Now, not many people saw the huge COVID boom in the local housing market that we've just come out of, and maybe only a few more could have foreseen the recent softening very quickly due to interest rate hikes and other factors. Just be cautious about that and know that the risk is there going in. Secondly, related to those financial factors, will you be selling another property to coincide with your purchase in Naples? So there's more than a reasonable chance that the market where you'll be selling is going to move in a similar manner to the Naples market. In other words, if you're planning to relocate full-time to Naples and selling your current primary home, if prices fall in Naples, which would be favorable to you in terms of buying, odds are also good that you're going to get less money when you sell your home. In other words, just another reason not to try to time the market. And number 3, are there attractive options for you to rent in the area where you intend to purchase in Southwest Florida? If the point is renting in an area to get a feel for it before you buy, ideally, wouldn't you want to rent as close to where you think you will eventually buy as possible? I'd certainly recommend that, as the difference between living in the vineyards versus renting a condo on the beach in Marco is like night and day, for example. And with the rental supply limited, there may simply not be anything available that would allow you that luxury of a true apples-to-apples experience. Number 4, are there material differences between experiencing a community as a renter versus as an owner? This one really centers around those ubiquitous resort-style communities in Southwest Florida, and it's also most meaningful to those who are seeking very specific amenities, such as those associated with a club. Can your landlord transfer their club membership to you during the time of your stay, or is there another means by which you can test drive the entire experience? If not, you should think long and hard about how much value there is in renting without being able to truly experience what living there would be like, whether that's dining in the club, whether that's playing the golf courses, participating in tennis or pickleball at the club. Just kind of weigh that out. And lastly, number 5, are the direct rental costs justified? While this is no doubt the easiest to quantify, there are factors that make it difficult to assess even if the hard numbers are readily available. If, for example, your taxes and association dues as an owner are around $1,000 per month in a community and your rental rate there is $6,000 a month, it's easy on one hand to say that buying and not renting would pay for half your annual carrying costs. That said, the cost of buying a home you are unhappy with is exponentially higher, of course. So for that reason, I tend to think it best to come at this question from the perspective of both your likely time frame for owning your Florida home and your familiarity coming in with the area. Now, if your aim is to buy your forever home and you plan to use it extensively right away, whether that be as a primary home or as a full season snowbird home, renting first probably makes more sense so you can be doubly sure about what you buy. If, on the other hand, this might be a starter home and or you intend to rent it out and use it sparingly, personally, at least initially, buying without the extended test drive of renting may make more sense. As to that familiarity factor, if you've been visiting Southwest Florida frequently, maybe renting first is overkill versus if you haven't been there and more are in that camp of liking the idea of living in Southwest Florida but not really having much familiarity with the area. I'm happy again to discuss your particular situation anytime and help you to evaluate all the options, so please do reach out directly anytime. And with that, I want to thank you again for tuning in, liking and subscribing and sharing, and I will plan to see you in the next episode. Thanks so much.